thanks to the support as a channel member, Igor Freitas. Something's got to give today, boys and girls. We're approaching the halfway point of the season. There are 2 teams left unbeaten. We're one of them. And today we go away from home to the other one. That other one being Raj Pracha FC, the Crowns. That's not as good a nickname as the Raging Mackerel. I'm sure you'll agree this is how we've got to this point. We are still unbeaten, as are they. And with us having played 10 games, we're 3 points ahead of them. They've played 1 game less though. So they'll be looking at this thinking a win here at their own stadium against us, and they're in control when it comes to getting that one and only qualifying spot for those promotion playoffs. Federico Jardín is still scoring goals for fun, 15 from 12 in all competitions, still doesn't even speak basic Thai. So he's doing all this despite not being able to communicate with anybody at the football club, including me, because I don't speak any Spanish. In fact, talking of me, how do I get to me? Can I do a coaching course, please? We're doing really well. I'd like to do a coaching course. I suspect they're going to say no again. I am going to ask again. I've not done a single coaching course yet in this entire save, and we're top of the league. I think I deserve one. Maybe I shouldn't have asked immediately before a match. There's a good chance we might lose, but it is an away game, which means we need to go and discover where we're going. It's the Nonthaburi Provincial Stadium in Nonthaburi, which appears to be just north of Bangkok. And it looks like there's 2 stadiums very close to each other. So we've got the Nonthaburi Stadium and the Nonthaburi Provincial Stadium. It's the Provincial Stadium we're heading to today. It looks like that's definitely the big one. We're heading to the smaller one next door that's got a running track around it. But let's have a little look, shall we? In fact, is that a little pitch side view? There we go. I mean, this is nice enough, isn't it? It's a nice little non-league football ground. It's got floodlights, it's got dugouts, and it's even got a little stand here with some changing rooms underneath it. I suspect next door is somewhat fancier. If we go into the middle of the stadium next door, I mean, you know what? It ain't much better. I mean, that, oh, goodness me, sack the groundsman. What is that a condom? Go and play a football match. And this is the team that will play that football match. They should be familiar to you by now. It's Jun Soy in goal, a back 4 of Sanoon, Junom Boabao, Sukpresert. I don't say their names out any more often than you hear me try and do it in the episodes. Believe it or not, when I'm playing the in-between bits, I don't read the team out. Pum Somboon at right back, and then Sukyu behind Thongchai and Nimnon, Kirirom and Sonwisat supporting Jardín up front. Sonwisat is probably the one who you don't normally see a lot of. He's playing out there today because what's his face? Where is he? Promsawat, who has been playing there. He's just in mega decline. He's 33 years old and he's in mega decline. And I think we probably need to move him on. But let's get the team submitted and hopefully by the end of this match, still have our unbeaten run intact. If we do, you've got to consider us favourites. Look at that lovely handshake. I'm much bigger than that man. What a small man. There's a lot of me. But yeah, I would. If we win this, we're very much in control when it comes to that promotion spot. If we lose, we do set ourselves up with a little bit of a problem. And Junsoy, I'm not sure what he's doing there. He's come for it. Kind of stopped part way. It's rule 1 of being a goalkeeper. If you're going to come for the ball, you've got to commit to it. He's hesitated, and then he eventually does come. And then he kind of stops and he's left completely in no man's land. And all they need is a little tickle to send it over his head. And there's absolutely nothing he can do about it. And with less than 2 minutes on the clock, that is not an ideal start to the game. But I guess does give us time to try and drag ourselves back into it. But you can see on there already the difference it makes to the league table. It puts Raj Pracha top of the league. Oh, my word, that was nearly a wonder goal. And they'd be top of the league with a game in hand as well, which it doesn't matter how good our start to the season has been. When there's only one potential promotion spot in the league, and even that results in a playoff, you can't afford to let even one team be better than you. So no pressure or anything. But as we talked about in the last episode, we kind of need to go up this year if we've got any chance of going up, because we're not going to have Jardín next year. And I don't expect we're going to be able to replace him with anyone anywhere near as good. And I think he does paper over some of the cracks we've got in the team. I mean, obviously you saw questionable defending, questionable goalkeeping. But, you know, he's always fairly good value for a goal. If he doesn't score today, I'll be quite upset about it because he usually does score. Look how much better than everyone else in the league these two teams are. It's frustrating if we end up in a runaway breakaway group, but the second best of the two teams in that group, because that doesn't set us up very well for, you know, promotion. But we have a corner right on the stroke of half time here. It's going to be Jardín to take, aiming at the near post, and Junum Buaba, I don't know how to say his name. Junum Buabao he gets onto it. It looked like a terrible corner. It's got no height on it at all. He's kind of whipped it in low. It hits our guy in the face and he directs it into that bottom corner. And that is a huge moment for us. Although we might be about to concede again just before half time. I thought the corner was going to be the last move of the half. It wasn't. They've immediately replied after we spend the entire half trying to drag ourselves back into the game. We equalise in stoppage time and then go behind again also in stoppage time. That is a kick in the nuts. That's not ideal at all. And once again, question marks over the goalkeeper's positioning. He's gone he's gone further than the near post there. They've had 2 shots on target and scored them both. It's rare for us to see our keeper make a save, which is not ideal for a team that's trying to get promoted. There you go. We're going attacking. We're demanding more. We need Jardín on the ball in their penalty area. At the moment, his one contribution has been taking that corner. And despite the fact it's not the corner I would have hit, he somehow managed to find his man and it ended up in the back of the net. And here is Jardín, one-on-one with a defender. This is where he is at his best. But he's had to drift wide there. I mean, they put 3 men on him. And then we try and give it back to him, but I think he drifted into an offside position. And now we have a free kick. Sukyu can hit these. We've seen him score these this season, or was it last season? He scored an absolute beauty. And there is a lot of goal to aim at. It's quite far out, but he is capable of doing this. He's lining it up and it's just a little bit over. Probably a little bit too far out for it to actually be a genuine goal threat. Their keeper didn't seem overly worried about it. Right, he's ever so slightly closer now, but he's not been left as much of a space by the keeper. That previous one was his sighter, and he's hit the post. He hasn't. The keeper saved it. I think the keeper pushes it onto the post, and that was as close as you can get without scoring. It's hit the inside of the post and got out for a corner on the opposite side of the pitch. And we're looking to do the exact same goal again that we'd already scored, but the corner was a little bit higher this time, and it shows that Jardín was right the first time. He knows more than I do. Leave him to it. We're demanding more again. If we can find an equaliser, a draw in this game, certainly based on how the game has gone, would be a good result for us. Somwasat has not impressed. Promwasat can come on for him. Thongchai not having a very good game at all, so we'll bring Lol Thong on for him. And Perm Somboom is on a yellow card, so let's get Klomjit on, who was a key player for us last year, and we've not used a huge amount this time around. At what point do we go all out attacking? Probably quite soon. Do we sling on another striker? I think we probably sling on another striker, don't we? We've got Chenarong sat down there on the bench, and I think we probably sacrifice Nimnon for him and get another guy up top. Make him a poacher maybe, and do that, and then go very attacking. And have we got anyone else who can come on and change the game? I mean, Kirirom's not had a very good game today at all. I don't think he can play in our next match because the next match is away against Navy FC in the Cup. We're playing against a team from a higher league. But we are going to try Hugh Hong Thong, who we've not given much opportunity to, but he was pretty effective for Samat Sakon last year. 8 goal contributions from 16 appearances. So he's got something about him. Let's get him on into the attack and see if he can, with the other attacking changes we've made, try and conjure something up for us. We are throwing everything forward and nothing is happening highlights-wise, which is very frustrating. And it's actually going to be Raj Pracha with the final highlight of the game. We're into stoppage time again. I mean, we know stoppage time goals have been a thing in this match. And Hugh Hong Thong, Let's get the hong and the thong the right way around, or it's disastrous. There you go. John Soy's made a save. I don't know that we've ever seen that before. It was a very good save as well. It's a little bit late in the day. There's maybe 90 seconds of play left and we're defending a corner. So I suspect, unless we can break from here, that save would have been handy earlier. And I think this is our first defeat of the season. I mean, it's a close one in the end, but it is a defeat and it does hand control of that promotion spot to Raj Pracha. And now we're relying on them slipping up. Obviously, we will play them again in the second half of the season, but they've still got a game in hand as well. They're still undefeated. They are a good side. Where did they finish last year? They weren't in out. So they were second in the Southern League last year. So they've just geographically moved across. But as you can see, they're always there or thereabouts trying to get promoted. So they are a good side. And frustratingly, they've shown it again there. Right, we need to dust ourselves off because we're taking on Navy FC, who are from the league above, but in the relegation zone. So if we're serious about getting promoted, these are the kind of team that we do need to be able to beat. So as mentioned, this cup game is against the Navy, and the Navy, as you can imagine, are quite near the sea. They're all the way around here. This is where we hang out, and we've had to come all the way around here. I wonder if we just sail across. Is that a thing that you can do? But this is their stadium. There you go, the Navy Stadium. Let's have a look at it from above. It looks like a stadium to me. Can we have a little look at it? We can stand in the middle of the pitch. There we go. Let's get in the middle of the pitch at the Navy Stadium. I mean, I think they've put their pin in the wrong place because that is not a football stadium. Let's try again. Let's go to the edge of the pitch. There you go. This is a football stadium. It even says Navy around it. So it's got a running track, which, I mean, that's an instant boo for me. We don't like having a running track around a stadium. This kid doesn't mind. So I guess it balances itself out. There's a screen. This might be the first match we've played in front of a screen. And there's also seating around three sides of the stadium. And then the tiniest terrace in the world behind that goal. I imagine that's the away area. We'll hang out over there. But it is a nice stadium. This is definitely the best stadium we've played at any point during this series so far. Let's go and win a football match at it. And we're going to have to do that without one of our star men of the season. Kirirom is on loan from Navy FC, and that is a big loss. 7 goals and assists in 10 appearances, 7.48 average rating. I think average rating-wise, he is player of the season for us, even ahead of Jardín, yeah. He's even ahead of Jardín, which is impressive stuff. His natural replacement would have been Mahmoud, but he's got a grumpy on because we've not been using him. So I'm not using him at the moment because morale manager. So we're actually going to bring Chainarong in on the left-hand side. He was our starting striker last year, did not score anywhere near enough goals. But he is accomplished playing as an inside forward out on the left-hand side. So I think we're going to give him an opportunity to try and win a spot in the team back. There are clubs that want him, and we are approaching that summer/winter transfer window. It's in the summer here. It's the equivalent of winter. It's that we get like a month from, I think, July to August. So we're getting closer. He's probably going to be off in that window unless he has a cracking game today and forces his way into the team more regularly on the left-hand side, which is unlikely because Kirirom will be back. And like I say, he's been our best player this season. But let's get out there and see how we fare against a team from a higher level. Important, like I was saying before, to note, this is a team who struggling in their league, and we've obviously been doing very well in our league. So we should theoretically be relatively evenly matched. And I would worry, speaking of morale manager, if we were to lose 2 games in a row, even though they're 2 difficult away games, it does start to build up a little run of form that can be hard to drag yourselves back out of, especially when you've been unbeaten for a long time. To then have defeats in consecutive matches, even if they are matches that you weren't necessarily expecting to get anything out of, that can be tough and can lead to some troubling form for the next few matches. So it is important that we at least put on a show today. We don't necessarily need to win, but if we can avoid losing or even just make sure we play well, then we've got a better chance of when we return to the league in the next match, like getting back to winning ways relatively quickly, which is an absolute must. Them lot that we played in the last match, they drew. They've played their game in hand and they drew it. So they are only 1 point clear of us at the top of the league. No longer with a game in hand. We play them at home in the second half of the season. So all hope is not lost. Everything is, after that draw, everything is back in our hands. If we win every game between now and the end of the season, which is a big if, with just over half the games still to play, but if we won every game, we would win the league. That is some genuinely shocking defending. But I don't know why Nimnon was the guy doing it. Where on earth are our defenders? Why is he the last man? It wasn't as if that was a counter-attack. That was from a goal kick. Why is our attacking Mazzala our last man? So the defenders come forward. Nimnon has tried to go into... Nimnon's seen that the guy behind him is absolutely lost. Tries to cover for it. I mean, you can't put any blame on him at all. That was all on Pracha. I don't even know what he was doing there, but whatever it was he was trying to do, he didn't do very well. He just completely misjudged the flight of the ball, and that is a frustrating way to concede against a team that we've been equal to so far in this match. With shared possession, shared shots. They're no better than us, but frustratingly, through an absolute moment of madness from one of our centre-backs, which is a constant problem for us, finding centre-backs, we are behind in the game. Sonrasat getting another opportunity to start today, plays it into Nimnon, who very nearly managed to save us before, and he might have saved us again because he put that onto the toe of Jardín, and he isn't going to go 2 games in a row without scoring, and it's 1-1 just after half-time, and I'm tempted to leave this on an attacking mentality. It's a cup game, and I think in the 45 minutes we've played, we've learned that we're capable of matching this lot, so let's go and try and beat them. Forget playing for a draw. We're staying attacking. We're going to try and win the football match. I'm going to encourage the boys. Get the ball forward. Get it to Jardín. Let him do his thing. Chenerong, definitely no replacement for Kirirom on that left-hand side. So I'm pretty comfortable letting him move on when that transfer window opens up again. He can come off here, and we'll bring on Hugh Hong Thong. And we're also going to take off Sonrasat. Promsawat can come on for him. And then for my final trick, Pracha does come off. Wang In's coming on for him. I think we might have to give Wang In a little run in the team because it was just awful defending. They've created nothing apart from that one chance that we've gifted to them. Thong Chai plays it out to Hugh Hong Thong, who plays it. I mean, he's driven that across goal. I can see what he's trying to do. He's doing one of those speculative, put it in towards the far post. It might get a deflection and go in. It might fall into the path of the striker, but he needs to understand he's got an absolutely clinical finisher in the middle there. Just give it to him. Don't try and be too clever. Give it to the guy who scores all the goals. We're bringing Lol Thong on now as another attacking change in midfield. We do have the option of sticking him into the number 10 position if we end up conceding and really have to chase. But I'm a lot more comfortable when we're in this shape that we're using right now. And it looks like, oh, it's extra time, is it? So no replays. Do we get to make another change? We do get to make another change. Sukyu is shattered. Junom Buabao is shattered. Kevin Barbie, we've not used him all season. Kevin Barbie's coming on to probably for the last time. Although the way our defenders have played, maybe not. Maybe he will have an opportunity to force his way back in. But let's offer some encouragement again. I mean, I think regardless of what happens from here, we said we didn't want to come here and get embarrassed. I don't think we've been embarrassed. So fingers crossed. It's not going to be too much of a hit to morale returning back into the league. The problem we've got is my reputation is still super low compared to the players. So my managerial support, despite us having a really good start to the season, is still absolutely rotten. So a couple of defeats could hit us hard, but there is Promsawat, and that might be enough to get him back in the team for a little run. He might be in huge decline as a 33-year-old, but he's scored a very important goal for us there that could keep us in the cup going into what I think would be the 5th round. This is a little cup run forming. I don't think they're as financially lucrative as a run in the English FA Cup is. But there is prize money each round, and the further in you get, the more likely you are to face a bigger team and get a big pile of cash that way as well, you would assume. Right, Lolthong from midfield plays it out to Promsawat. He's got the overlap there if you can see him. He's eventually saw him. I mean, he's getting old. Maybe he needs a pair of reading glasses for situations like that, because I could see it from here. And I am a bespectacled gentleman. Lolthong doing well to win the ball back. He's a little bit hard done by in this system because he's good enough to be starting. He just doesn't fit into the system. Wang In plays it forward to Nimnon. And now out to Hugh Hong Thong, who does look lively when we use him. And that is an absolute sitter missed by Jardín, who once again proving he misses the sitters and scores the more complicated ones. And I can't really figure out why that is. I talked about it in the last episode. I think it just is the fact he still doesn't speak any Thai. And that's the game's way of showing me that. But it's really weird to watch when he scores at more than a goal a game, but regularly misses chances like that one. But I guess it's just a way to keep him in control so he doesn't get 60 goals in 20 matches, which he should with his attributes. But importantly, we have won that game. We are in the hat for the next round. So we're into the 5th round of the Cup. There's still a lot of teams in it. I don't think we're in any danger of winning it. And this is what the league looks like. So all looking positive again as we hit the end of the episode. We just need to keep winning. Still only on average managerial support. For goodness sake. I'm good at Football Manager. Just love me. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.